Hello and welcome to the new video. Today we're going to take a look at Builder Boy's 3400 plus MMR team for the Open Great League. This is of course the world champ, the current world champ. This is going to change in around half a year when you're going to have the world championships again, unless of course they can defend the title, which would be honestly amazing for Pokemon Go as well. We have that in VGC as well, where we had someone who already was able to defend their world championship title. But anyway, today we're going to take a look at a very good team, and of course I'm kind of in very similar ELO range. Not the same, but similar at least. We're close to like the 3200 ELO range in the battles that we are in here right now, which I'm very happy about. Like honestly, I'm very happy about my current ELO, my current play style. Generally, I'm very happy about how I'm playing in this season, which is perfect because it's the interlude season where it really doesn't matter. But it's still kind of good to see that this team here, but also me as a player, it's very, very good. Like honestly, it was really, really nice to play here. We're going to be able to knock out the first opponent. We can move on to the next opponent. And the sample size I did with this team, actually, I just only saw it was kind of like bigger. I think I played for an entire day with this team. I went crazy positive with this team. It's a fantastic team. Like, of course, for every team, there are going to be weaknesses. For every team, there's going to be something that can break it. That just happens. Like, there are going to be teams that you have no chance against. Like, those going to be in here most likely as well. I know there are some very close battles in here today. But we have, for example, here the Magnezone in the lead. And they're actually going to sub out. And they sub out into the Seaking. I was actually just thinking while editing, oh, maybe they were trying to go into the limited meta, into the Love Cup. But while Seaking would be allowed, definitely not the Magnezone. Magnezone is neither pink or red, so yeah, that is not gonna happen. And so we're gonna be able to win this battle, and we can move on to the next opponent. We will face off against the Shadow Sableye. Shadow Sableye is going to be an interesting Pokemon. In comes the Azumarill, and we're just going to take this as an opportunity to go for a Sludge Bomb. Of course, I like to have Sableye against my lead, and I don't like to have Azumarill against my lead, but we have the opportunity here now to go for a super effective charge move to weaken the Azumarill to make it easier for a Doublade. As long as they don't have the Hydro Pump, which they don't with Play Rough here, I'm in a position where I might even be able to reach still a Gyro Ball against the opponent's Sableye when I'm done with it. Azumarill, which I would love. And by the way, here's the thing as well. Builder Boy, the current rank, like not the current rank one, we don't know what the current ranks are, but the current world champ also said that Doublade is so good in the meta. Like that's basically all they said towards the team. And I find it kind of funny because they were actually top players in the beginning of the season who said, okay, Doublade, garbage Pokemon, you don't really want to run it, it doesn't do enough damage, it's super overrated. It's honestly has been my favorite addition towards this meta this season. Let me know down below what your favorite new Pokemon is towards the season. I like Gurgeist a lot as well, which is really cool Pokemon that got added with Incinerate. I think it's very unique in what it can do, and I like that about Pokemon. Like I like Pokemon that are unique. But here I have to say that Doublade is by far the best Pokemon that, in my opinion, has got an update for the season that only now got into the meta. Like this Pokemon is fantastic. Anyway, we're going to have the Wicked Stuff against us, and I can still reach actually the player, which I'm surprised about. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to swap out into my Guzlord, and I try to go for the Brutal Swing, and it actually works out. Can we still win the battle? Is Guzlord going to be able to knock out the opponent's Wicked Stuff? It is going to be able to do that, and even the Sableye comes in now. Brutal Swing comes in as well, and Guzlord is going to be able to finish the battle. Guzlord, one of the strongest Pokemon in the current meta. It is so good. I hope you have one. Next opponent, Matt Beer. Let's see how they play. We're going to have the Toucannon in the lead, and they stop out into the Prime to catch the move. Well done, great catch. Works out really well for you. I can stop out into my Azumarill, and I'm not really too threatened anymore by you. Azumarill is kind of nice in this kind of regard because you're just going to have a Pokemon that can tank hits like it's nothing, but it's just so neutral with the type that you have. It's just a good Pokemon. It's honestly just a good Pokemon. We're going to have the Rages coming through here, and we can go for the Ice Beam. I wanted to go for the Ice Beam one earlier, but I just misclicked a little bit. But now the Ice Beam is coming through. It's going to allow us to get the KO against the opponent, and in comes now the Toucannon again. We can go for the Ice Beam as well, but they got to knock us out before that. That is fine by me. As the Drill Pick is coming through, I have now my Guzlord still. I can go for my Brutal Swings. I'm not really too worried about it. They get to their move before me. That is alright. That is honestly alright. I don't really care too much about it. As you're going to see here now as well, we're going to have the Brutal Swing coming through again. We would knock them out if they let the move go. We otherwise going to get the shield. We're going to get the shield here from the opponent. And I still will play the matchup out, but now I can catch the move onto my Doublade. Doublade, of course, is going to be able to resist it. While I don't have the highest attack and defense stat with this Pokemon, it's still going to work out quite well. And in comes now the opponent's Shadow Swampert. I honestly like Swampert. It's a Pokemon I want to try out next as well. I should make a team around Shadow Swampert. But yeah, I know I should be able to win this battle, I think, because I have my Guzlord and I have the opportunity now to go for Dragon Tail still. I need to kind of get them lower. I need to get them lower. We have the Brutal Swing coming in. I go for the maximum amount. I have 2 charge moves stored. Luckily, they don't have any energy stored on this Swampert here, basically, which now allows me to just go for the back-to-back charge moves to knock out both of the opponent's Pokemon. And again, Guzlord is able to knock out them all. I think even at this point, if you have like someone with a level 20 Guzlord, you can trade with low friendship in order to get one for the Great League. There's no Pokemon that comes close to what it can do. There are some Pokemon that have, basically the ability to have the same type and similar coverage, but no one can do it like Guzlord. Guzlord is just the bulkiest of all of the Dark and Dragon type Pokemon as far as I know, and it just has the best kind of coverage. So like it's honestly, you kind of would really want to have Guzlord. Like yeah, there's going to be Hydreigon, there's going to be the Zweilous, which are both kind of similar and kind of have like their benefits in their own kind of way, but neither of them can come close to what Guzlord can do. And I hope that they release this Pokemon again in the Crest soonish, because it's such a good Pokemon. Honestly, it's like unfortunate that there are those Pokemon here in Pokemon Go, which you just can't get otherwise, really, other than if you play those specific events at a specific time. Guzlord is definitely one of those, like if you don't have them yet, it's definitely something you can still at least trade for, which is not the case for all of them. There are a lot of legendaries that are locked behind events that happened 5-6 years ago, so... yeah, we have Rages coming here through against us. In comes the Bastiodon. I kind of misplay this one here because they catch the move. It's just a good play. It's just a good play by the opponent. And that's going to maybe win them the battle. I have to see. Because, while yes, we're going to be able to go for 2 Sacred Swords. And Sacred Sword is going to be enough to knock them low at least. I know that my Azumarill is just going to have charge move damage that's resisted from the Bastiodon. And so, like, I am not very hopeful because I do feel like I'm most likely in a range where one... big Stone Edge is going to be able to knock me out. They even go for the Stone Edge here, which is going to be able to knock me out there. But I would need to get to 2 player-offs in order to have a chance of winning. 2 player-offs here, like the first one is barely doing anything, honestly. Yeah, the bubble damage is adding up, which is kind of nice, but I have to hope that this is somehow going to be enough. But I doubt it. And again, Bastion is just a bit tough, but a great catch from the opponent. They survive with 1 HP, like literally 1 singular HP, and they win the battle. Bastion is definitely a Pokemon that kind of deserves to be nerfed again. I don't really feel like that the recent buff towards it helped out the meta itself. The thing for Bastion, like you need to kind of nerf it because of the way this Pokemon is. It's just too bulky. It has a very solid typing. Yes, you have 2 double weaknesses, which you can of course exploit, but there are not really a lot of great fighting type Pokemon, especially not a variety of fighting type Pokemon or fighting type coverage. Yes, we have it here, but like it's not that great. You have a lot of good ground types. That's something that at least kind of goes towards it, but that's basically it. Like, yeah, water type Pokemon. Like, but even some of the water type Pokemon lose against Bastiodon. Like, they lose against Bastiodon just because of how things are, because there's no good, really water type fast move either. Like, you have Greninja with the Water Shuriken, which is like the best water type fast move. There's no other good water type fast moves currently in the game, which makes Bastiodon such a monster. And the reason why it's a bit tough is just because it wins because of the bulk. It just like sits there. It doesn't do anything outside of it. It just sits there and it's just annoying. You can't really take it down. But yeah, it is a good Pokemon, and that's all that is currently what we have to say there. It's a Pokemon that is very, very strong, which I would like to see getting changed a bit in the future. Anyway, we're going to be able to go for the play rough here now against the opponent's Arachnoid. Talking a little bit more about the gameplay here. Arachnoid is going to be, of course, a tough battle for like our Guzlord there itself, but we're going to be able to go for the charge move here. It's going to be the play rough. We have the Stunfisk coming in. I'm going to be able to go for a shield here as well. This is going to be another discharge coming through, and we can try to go for the double brutal swing against the opponent. But do I maybe just rather want to keep some energy on my Guzlord? Let's spin out. We have the brutal swing coming through. I can go for another brutal swing. Okay, that's going to be enough to knock them out. And I just win. I just win here anyway. Good game. There's the Arachnoid. I would be able to win with the rest of my team. And the opponent forfeits. And we can move on to the next opponent with the worst possible lead. Wigglytuff is by far the worst possible lead, and I usually swap out exchange to my Azu because Azu is going to be able to soak up the damage, but also is going to be here able to get the shield. And I have just have the better answer in the back with my Doublade. But also, another benefit of having Azo here is that the bubble damage is adding up over a long period of time, which then allows us to put them into Sludge Bomb range. And here, they swap out into the Carbink, which is alright. In this point, of course, I'm going to go into my Doublade. There's no point of not doing that. But, yeah, basically, we're able to still keep some energy on my Azumarill, which is cool. The opponent can go for a charge move here. I'd shield this move up. I only know about the weekly tough so far, and I kind of know that the Moonblast is going to still chunk, even though it's resisted. I can get up to 100 energy against the Carbink. This is easily going to be enough to knock them out, because guess what? That is going to be a Gyro Ball, a super effective stab. Yeah, Steel type move there. That was super effective. And of course, going to end up. We have the opponent coming back in with a weekly tough, and they go for the charge move here and the shield, and so they must be weak to our Doublade in the back. So let's see what we're going to have here. We're going to have the Steelix in the back, and of course we're going to be able to win this battle. Like, there's not a lot that they can do anymore. They have Dragon Tail, which is going to allow them to play it a bit easier in this matchup specifically, but yeah, we are going to be able to just go ahead and let this move go. The Psychic Fangs is not doing really anything. I just chunk away, they just chunk away. It's just a back and forth, but I'm fairly certain I'm just having the game here already. I don't think there's anything they can do. I try to go for the Sludge Bomb, but that's fine. I have the Gyro Ball, and I make a big mistake. I overfarm here, and this is something which I kind of want to talk about. I just tried to play it perfect, but I didn't. I just made it worse for myself, and now it's going to be a bit more tougher. But I still win. Like, there's not really anything that I'm worried about, because I know I wouldn't see Peter against the Steelix. I just didn't want to risk it here with a debuffed move there. Earthquake is coming in. I can knock them out, and good game to the opponent. Like, there's absolutely nothing they can do here. Doublade, honestly, Doublade is so good. It's such a good Pokemon. Here's the thing that kind of worries me. We're going to have now the event coming up next weekend for the Go Tour, which is going to be cool. Don't get me wrong there. But are we going to get Doublade as well, like the pre-evolution, forgot always the name for that one, in raids, and I really want to get a shiny one, but also really want to build my Aegislash. And so this would be here the Aegislash that I would build, that we're currently battling with. It would get to really good CP, and it has actually very good stats for the Pokemon that you have here with the stat changes basically in the middle of the battle. But basically, yeah, I would still need another Doublade, because Doublade is so overpowered in the Great League. I would really need another Doublade, and I need better IV, so like, I have to trade a lot. But it's absolutely one of those Pokemon that I would really recommend you to just keep, trade with your locals, and hope for good PvP IVs, because both Aegislash as well as Doublade are so phenomenal. Anyway, we're going to have Guzlord against Clodsire. Clodsire was only recently in my video as well with Greninja, I think. I had great fun with this Pokemon. It's honestly such an underrated pick right now as well. I don't know why it disappeared all of a sudden. It was really strong at one point, and then okay, I know why it disappeared. Because we have an Astonish buff, and we had a Mudstep buff, which are really tough for Clodsire to deal with. But it's honestly such a good Pokemon. Here we're going to have the Carbink. I can swap out of here. I kept a Sludge Bomb still, just in case I get the bubble damage in, which is super effective against them. And at least against this Pokemon, our charge moves are just neutral and not resisted, which is going to be fantastic. I can go for the play of now against the opponent. I still have a Sludge Bomb stored for laydown. Of course, I still have that Pangoro, which can be a bit more tricky. And I make a big mistake here in this battle. You're gonna see it now. We're going to have here the play of... I expect that they're gonna go into their Pangoro eventually here, because Pangoro has a close combat stored already. So I expected it here, and I did get it right. I waited the turn. I went for a charge move, but I went for the wrong one. I went for the Ice Beam. I thought they would be lower already. This is my fault, of course. I should have not done that. If I just went for play rough, I would have won immediately, because I still had my Sludge Bomb there for the late game. But now I don't, and I will go down here, because this is not going to be enough, and we can draw the game. It could have been easily won. Like, it could have been easily we win there. Like, there was nothing really that... I should have just went for my play rough instead of the Ice Beam. I just thought that the opponent's lead was just a little bit lower, which it just wasn't there. Like, the Pangoro just was able to barely hang on. Anyway, Stunfisk, we have to stay in here. I know we had a great lead, we had a fantastic lead, but we have to just kind of stay in here, as the opponent has here a Pokemon Core Breaks my backline. We are weak to electric and ground with my backline, and there's not really anything I can do about. We have now the charge move coming in here. The Brutal Swing is coming through. That is going to allow us to get some nice damage in against the opponent. We swap out into our Azumarill. We can farm them down, but they get coming back into the Gourgeist. I know, though, that my Azumarill doesn't actually have a bad matchup here at all, because what we can do is we can go ahead and go for the Ice Beam, and that is fine. I can go ahead and let the move go through. It's going to be the Seed Bomb, and that is going to be fine as well. And now we are going to have here, again, another shield coming up from us, which is okay, because I would like to keep my Azumarill healthy. I can go for another charge move here, and I can catch the move onto my Doublade. This was a very smart play, because now I still have the energy on my Azumarill. They're in farm down range, which I'm going to be able to farm down now, and they had enough, I think, at this point, and they forfeit. And so that's going to be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I will see you then. Bye-bye.